Hello everyone and welcome back. Long time no see. I don't really have much of an excuse as to why I haven't uploaded an actual video in a really long time, other than I've just been busy and I don't know, I just didn't really have a lot of creative drive or confidence this past year. So now coming back is really fun and cool. So hi to anyone that's new, and thank you to anyone who has stuck around on this channel. You probably forgot it even existed or that you're subscribed to it and don't even remember me at all, which is totally fair. Lots of things happen in a year or more and I have just not been around. So I thought today would be fun while I'm getting over being very sick once again to just give you an update about everything that I've been up to. Originally, when I was gonna film this video, I was like, oh, and I'll add pictures and stuff and whatever. I know how to do it, but I don't want to because it is a pain and it would take too long because there's like way too many things that have happened. Like if I was talking about one trip or like one thing that I had done, maybe I would do that. But I feel like it's easier to just like quickly kind of hit on topics and then not do that. Sorry, my cat was biting this and I really don't want her to ruin it. That's gonna be something that I'm talking about, is my newer kitten, which I got this past fall. So she's almost a year old now. And for all of you who were here before, you know about Squish. He is my other cat and he is 2 years old. Now he turned 2 in the spring, so that's kind of crazy. He is a very big sassy man and I love him so much that I make excuses for his bad behavior. But Fia at the moment is playing with a spring. They just got their midday snack, so they have a lot of energy to run around and be a little chaotic, a little noisy. So that'll be fun for background noise in this. Oh yeah, and the type of sick that I am is not just a regular cold. I have COVID again, which is awesome. Love that for me. This is the 4th time that I've had it. I'm extremely susceptible to it, which is great, and sucks every time, but this is actually the least sucky that it's been symptom-wise. Like the symptoms still suck, but the last time that I had it, I felt like I was gonna die. So at least we're not doing that. And I don't know, it's been like a week since I started feeling symptoms or something like that. I went on a trip and I went out of the country, came back sick. It's kind of overshadowed the trip a little bit. My mom and I actually are both sick, so that's awesome. We went on the trip together, kind of inevitable, and now we're just trying to be on the mend. But I have been having fun working on creative stuff, even though I've been like half awake the past week. That's why I've been on my phone so much and posting so much, because I am doom scrolling constantly. And I know I won't actually get the luxury to do that again for a while. Let's just hop into what I actually want to talk about, because I know I've just been sick rambling this whole time. So this past year, I turned 25. Crazy, I know. I don't know if I've ever really talked about aging. I feel old. I feel like I look old. I don't know how to explain it. It's funny too, because the other people that I'm around and friends with, they're either all older than me or they're like the same age as me, save for one friend who I made this year. And so it's just funny. Like I'm like, I don't know why I feel so old, but I feel very old. But I turned 25. I didn't really do a whole lot, unlike last year where I had a Twilight themed birthday party that I threw. Honestly, I don't feel like I could top that. That was kind of insane. I will say I have been going back to school full time, like in person this past year. So that's like why I've been so busy and just really haven't felt like I had time for creative stuff, because like between full-time school and working, it was just not feasible. But I took some classes and I go to community college, so you meet people of all ages there, which is really cool. I've met a lot of cool people with different stories. I've had people tell me that I actually look younger / maybe act younger, not necessarily act younger, I don't know. That I just don't seem 25, which is not old, but like I know it's not old, like logically I know it's not old, but it feels old. So to have people tell me that I look like 21, I'm like, cool, because when I was in high school and whatever, even in middle school when I first went through puberty, people always thought I was like in high school, or in high school people thought I was like in my late teens or early 20s. Like, it was a huge self-esteem hit that I was being told that I looked older. So the fact that I'm being told I look younger now is very interesting and not a shift that I expected. So that has helped my confidence a little bit. I do still feel like I look old, or at least older, like my face and stuff like just like looks older, but like that's not a bad thing. That's what aging is. I feel like some of my hobbies and stuff too like also feel a little older. Like I now like drinking Diet Coke and watching cooking shows like Chopped. That has never been a theme in my life. I don't even know where that came from. So things like that. Let's talk about crochet progress. So if you have been following my Instagram at all, or my YouTube or my TikTok, I have posted a newer Instagram project that I did. I'm very proud of it. I gave it to my little cousin who I hadn't seen in like forever for her 10th birthday. She loved it. It's always really nice when you make something and people like it. She actually genuinely seemed to really like it, so that also boosted my confidence that I am getting better as a crocheter. Oh, I also made a scarf for my grandma, gave that to her. She loved it. She loved the colors, and I posted a video about that too. So, you know, overall, like I think I am getting better. I feel more confident in my crochet abilities. I can kind of work on things and make it my own and kind of make up my own little patterns and stuff like that. So hopefully maybe within the next couple years I could start actually making my own patterns and putting them out, because that would be fun. I actually had somebody ask me about that for the dolphin, because I started with a pattern and then it just veered off and I had to reshape the whole thing and kind of work with what I had. It was a different type of yarn, different weight of yarn, like all this kind of stuff. So I definitely know that I'm getting better. I keep like looking down and like going down like this because I have my glasses up here. It's to help kind of hide my bangs that I cut horribly this past month, and I'm waiting for them to grow out, and I'm not gonna touch again because I messed them up royally this time. But I've been cutting my own hair for the past couple years because getting your hair cut is just so expensive, and I can't really like afford to go to a stylist. Obviously with my I need to re-dye it too. But when it comes to my vision, I am nearsighted, but I'm not farsighted. So I can't see far away, which is really annoying because I feel like I have a really pretty eye color, but I always have to wear glasses, so nobody can ever tell what color my eyes are. My eyes are actually hazel. They're not just brown, they're hazel. So they're like green on the outside, brown towards the iris, and then it kind of, you know, anyways. It's like really unimportant. I've been crocheting for almost 2 years now. I had to go back and check because I had an idea. I just didn't really know exactly when. So around probably October will be 2 years. Oh, I also crocheted my first granny scare. My first granny square this year. It's actually 2 of them, and it was gonna be like a little pouch bag, which I still can do that. Like in theory, what I might do is sew fabric inside and then maybe add a zipper or something. I don't really know. But I used a couple different types of yarn, and I actually thought it turned out really cute, and it's like this kind of soft chenille yarn as well. So that was cool. It's supposed to be a gift. Had a lot of unfinished projects this past year, but that was a cool accomplishment to do. Like I said, I'm working on lots of stuff though, and I am also working on a blanket right now for myself that I'm hoping to get finished soon. But I have some other stuff that I need to make for other people, like as gifts, so that's probably not gonna happen, but whatever. Maybe during this winter I'll finish it and then I'll be fine. Yeah, and then I also did my first clothing piece, which is the scarf, and I have a second one I'm working on. It is a swimsuit slip. I was trying to finish it before I went on my trip, didn't finish it. Worked on it a little bit when I was there, which I think is always fun to do crochet in like a place that you've never been, because I get nervous and anxious, and socializing is really hard for me outside of like my normal comfort zones, and I try and act confident. I am not confident at all, so this made it a little bit easier, just like working on it, and I will be showing that in a reel sometime soon for a whole other thing. I have a lot of ideas for things. So I saw my first sprint car / dirt racing races, as well as a trailer bash. Look it up. Just look it up if you are like, what is a trailer bash and what is sprint cars? Just look it up. Just look, it's fun. If you don't care about racing at all, I understand it's not everybody's thing, and dirt racing is not everybody's thing. We also went to Sonoma Raceway earlier this year, and we have a friend who works on cars / does races there, so maybe I'll do a ride along sometime. Convince him to let me get in the car and make a video about it, because it's just such a cool like random thing. Mind you, I have coffee and water with me to help me get through this and tissues next to me, but I am dying. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to film. Yeah, but it's just fun to talk to you guys again. It's been a while and I haven't done like a chit-chatty thing. I've just filmed things or taken pictures of things that I've done and then just not talked about it. But in my head, I have a lot going on. I just don't talk a lot. This is probably something I need to work on, expressing my feelings towards things. But this past year, I overcame a lot of social anxieties, and I think that's really helped with where I'm at now. For example, I took my first acting class, which I have always wanted to do. In high school, I did not take any acting classes. I kind of wish maybe I had. I don't know. I liked what I did because I did band, and that was such like a huge part of my life, and that was a very different type of performing style. And I don't really regret it. It was cool. I got a lot of cool experiences out of it. I can play the clarinet, so I could read music. That's, you know, a skill that I'll always have. So I don't regret that at all. But I never did theater. I've always wanted to do it. I've always struggled though with my confidence. I've never felt like confident in myself and like I could do something like that. So I took my first acting class, acted with other people, even did a scene at the end of the semester with someone. That was really fun and scary, and I felt like I learned a lot though. And I honestly, like, I asked for feedback from people because I'm like, you know, like, genuinely, do you think like I have any potential in this, or should I just kind of be like, you know what, I took a class, tried it, it's not for me, whatever. But I got some good feedback. People are like, yeah, like, it seems like you have potential, you should keep going. Honestly, theater people are so nice. I was really appreciative of that, and how many nice people that I met, and how many fun, cool, interesting people that I met. So far I've auditioned for 2 plays and 1 musical. For the 2 plays, I did not get a callback. For the musical, I also didn't get a callback. The musical was more recently. It was in July that I did the audition, but for that one, it was like my scheduling issues made it so I didn't get a callback, just because the last week of performances fall on the weekend that my brother's getting married, so I kind of can't not go. So it just like didn't work out that way. But I did get feedback from the director saying that I did audition well. It was just my scheduling conflicts. So that also gave me a boost of confidence that like maybe in the future, if I had auditioned for other things, or if she remembers me, like maybe I'll have a better chance, and hopefully my schedule won't conflict in a way that I can't come back for callbacks. So moving on from that, I threw a Ratatouille themed birthday party for Andrew. That was crazy. It was his 28th birthday. Yes, so I'm 25. He is 4 years older than me, so he's turning 29 this September. So last year I threw him a Ratatouille themed birthday party, and I loved it. It was so cute. I love Ratatouille. That's like one of our favorite movies. I just love French things. I don't know what it is. Nobody in my family has like expressed like an interest or a lineage or like anything regarding like French or France or French people, like just literally nothing. But for some reason I'm like, I really like France. So we did that, which was cool, and all of our friends were there. That was a fun time. So this is also my coffee, by the way. I'm just holding it because I don't know what to do with my hands other than be very like expressive, which people have commented on. It's kind of embarrassing. So in the realm of dressing up and acting and whatever, I went to my first Ren Fair, which was super fun. We got to see jousting. Didn't expect that. I dressed up like a little bit, like I got elf ears. I didn't really have anything else, so I just wore like a pretty dress that I had. I have not posted the pictures for that yet, but I will because I thought it was really fun and I want to do it again. If you know me, I love elves. Elves are just cool. Like, come on. I do say though that if I was ever in the Lord of the Rings universe, I would be a hobbit. I exhibit hobbit traits, and I just don't exhibit elf traits, unfortunately. But you know what? I'll live in the Shire. That's fine. Let's talk about reading for a second. Embarrassing. I have not been consistently reading at all this past year. I did start Dune, and I got like 200 pages in. That's not bad, but it's a long book. I haven't finished it, but I love it. I love the Dune universe. It was so cool. I know that there's a lot of differences. We're not gonna get into it right now. My grandpa, he's upset. It's just like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Like, he's just I love him for that. He's such a nerd, and it's rubbed off on me throughout my life, and I very much appreciate it. The next one, I'm not gonna cry right now about it. I've already cried a lot about it. It's been almost a year. But if you guys remember, or if you have watched the channel before, seen old videos, whatever, I even have a highlight reel on my Instagram for her. But my cat Peaches passed away pretty suddenly last year. So that's like the third cat that I've lost in the span of 4 years. I don't know if I ever talked about it. I probably did, but my childhood cat passed away about 4 years ago. And then about 3 years ago, one of my other childhood cats, like mid-childhood cats, passed away. That was really sudden. My first childhood cat, she was sick. She was old. We knew for a long time. The second cat, Annabelle, she just went to sleep one day. We think it was probably maybe some type of cardiac something that happened that like we could not have guessed or predicted. So that was really hard. And I still don't really have like full closure from it. And then with Peaches, so we got Peaches in 2021. She was so sweet. They think that she was 6 years old when we got her from the shelter. So she was older. We knew that she was older. We accepted that fact. It wasn't really like something that we cared about. We didn't go in there looking specifically for like a certain aged cat, like a kitten or something like that. We just kind of went to the shelter to see if we made a connection with any of the cats. I know I said I wasn't gonna cry. I'm crying a little bit, but it's fine. I'm also sick, so it's like, it's not helping. Yeah, so last summer she had what we think was like a UTI, because I just noticed one day that she was trying to go to the bathroom. She just wasn't going to the bathroom. So I was like, oh, that's really weird. I'm gonna take her to the vet. So I got her in, I think that day, got her some antibiotics. They thought it was just a UTI. She started going to the bathroom again regularly, all good. She was eating, drinking water. Like, she slept a lot, but I mean, that's kind of just how she was. And then a couple months later, probably in the span of about a week, she got really, really sick. She was really lethargic. She'd lost weight and she just felt skinny. She was not acting like herself. When we would try and pet her, she just seemed irritated, which was not like how she ever acted. And probably like the night before we took her back to the because we scheduled an appointment to have the doctor look at her, the night before, she had just been sleeping on like this chair, and she came over to us and let us pet her. And sorry, I just had to cut myself off there. So it was kind of like she was saying goodbye to us. As the next morning, he went to take her to the vet. They had run some tests. They wanted to go over it with us, and she was in late stage kidney failure. So actually a really common thing that happens with older cats. So if you don't catch it early enough, there are preventative measures you can take, of course, like medicines and stuff like that, like for people, kind of same thing. But at that point, it was too late. Medication would have only prolonged her discomfort and pain. So that day we had to go and humanely euthanize her. And that's the second time I had to do that in the span of 4 years. I cursed. I had to cut myself off because I don't want to curse on my channel like that. But yeah, it's just gut-wrenching. So anyone who's experienced that loss, that pain, I get it, man. It sucks. But I do have a picture of her that I can show you that I just think is a really hilarious, cute picture of her. She was a diluted calico, which is also not a very common cat to have. And then our vet actually also let us know that they think she might have been 9 years old when we got her. So at that point, she was already a senior. So we just hadn't started doing senior care for her yet because we didn't think she was a senior cat. She was not exhibiting symptoms the way you would think she would be. She wasn't showing pain or anything like that till like literally that week. So that was really hard. On a somewhat lighter note though, we actually met Fia that day. My mom works with people who also foster kittens. That's actually how we got Squish as well. One of her coworkers had gotten 2 little kittens, and one of them was a Siamese, I think, and the other one is gray and white like Fia, is Fia. And they were like, oh yeah, and this one has like a little club foot. So the day that we put Peaches down, I actually held Fia for the first time, And as crazy it is, as it is, like I've met people who are like, I'm never gonna go through that again. I can't go through that again. I love having cats too much. I love being a cat mom. I love giving them a good home and a good life. And for Peaches, I don't regret it at all, even though it hurt and it still hurts and we didn't get as much time with her. Like, I would not have traded that experience for anything. I don't at all regret giving her a home where she was loved or being with her when she passed. Like, that was, you know, best case scenario I think for her in her life was being in a home where people loved her. And so same for Fia. We ended up adopting her probably like 2 months later. So she was a little bit older than Squish was when we'd gotten him, which did make it the transition a little easier. We didn't have to bottle feed her or anything like we did with Squish, which is an experience and it's kind of a pain if you don't know anything about it and takes a lot of time. Whereas my mom's coworker took care of that portion of growing for Fia, and then after that we got her, and she has been a fun, chaotic addition. I actually named her Fia. It's a Gaelic word. It just means like chaos essentially, and she is chaos. She is the embodiment of chaos, and I love that for her. She's always been like that. All right, moving on from the sad. I've never cried on film like that. That's that's a new one. It feels embarrassing, but it's also very human, and on this channel, you know, we celebrate being human. So crazy turn of events though. So about a week after we let go and said goodbye to Peaches, we went to Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas F1 race. We won the trip. I'm gonna make a video vlog about it. Maybe in that video I'll explain more about how all that happened. But yeah, we went to Austin, Texas for like a week. It was insane. So that was all October, and then after that we had 2 Halloween parties we went to, so I got to do 2 different costumes, which if you know me, I love costumes. I love cosplaying. I don't get to do it very often and my skills are not very developed, but I love clothes and fashion and cosplay. So I did one as Clary from Cassandra Clare's book series City of Bones. That was fun. I got to wear like a red wig and everything that I just hadn't used. Oh, and then we did a Christine and Phantom cosplay, which was also really cool, and I kind of want to redo it. Like, I want to do it again at some point and have a more elaborate dress and stuff like that, but we were on a budget and a time crunch, so I also want to post those along with my Ren pics as like one, because I just haven't posted any of my costumes and I really want to. Oh, as I mentioned earlier, so I was talking about how I love all things French, whatever. I started learning French last year. I'm currently on day 312, so almost a year, which is like kind of crazy. Can I speak conversational French? Not at all. But do I understand quite a bit of vocab and some conversational French? Yes. I'm trying to get better. It is really fun, actually. Like, it's kind of a pain, but like, once you do, I don't know, it's just fun. So I've been doing that. Like I was talking about, I did school, like full-time school all this past year. I'm gonna be doing that again so I can graduate in 2026 with like 3 undergrad degrees. But as part of one of my classes, I did a Native American Studies course, and one of the requirements was doing a working with an elder type program, and for that activity they taught us how to basket weave. So this is the finished basket that I made. I'd actually started a different one and then they lost it. I had to redo and start all over for another one, probably less than a month before the class ended. So that wasn't stressful at all. I'm glad I got it done, learned a new skill. I also went ice skating for the first time last year. It was really fun and terrifying, but I actually liked it and I thought it was better than roller skating. Don't like roller skating. I'm not steady at all. Not saying I was like, I fell like one full fall, but like the other times I just like slipped a little. I just think ice skating is so much cooler. I still have yet to go to a hockey game. It will happen either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. We'll see, but I really want to go to one. And then at the very beginning of this year, I went to San Holo's 10-year anniversary show in Oakland, and it was super freaking cool. I have been a San fan since like 2019, but of course he's been a musician for much longer than that. He is one of my favorite artists. If you've never listened to him, like like gone and listened to him, I'm sure you've probably heard like a song he's worked on or something like that, just randomly going through life. But if you never listened to him, like gone out of your way to listen to him, I would. He's an EDM artist, but he's also an amazing guitarist and just all around really fun guy. And then we actually moved apartments, so if you could tell, this is a very different setup than what it was before. We're in a 2-bedroom now, so that's pretty cool. Actually, we have an office where we can work on stuff. Am I working on my art stuff in there at all? No. But it's because it's not like fully cleaned, which is my fault and my job. So we have that, which is awesome. We have more space for the cats, which is awesome. I feel like I'm saying awesome a lot. I need to speed run this. Okay, so our best friends got married in February. That was crazy, but it was really great to see. I love them so much, and I'm just really happy for them. My big brother got engaged about the same time. Our wedding's actually in October, which is less than 3 months away, and that's insane. And I'm also a bridesmaid. I feel very honored. I get to walk down the aisle with his best man, which is somebody that I've known since I was like a little kid. So it's all like very full circle, and I'm really happy for them, and I love it. So that's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be in Southern California. It's gonna be really beautiful and by the ocean and all that kind of stuff. Album club still going strong. I don't know if I ever actually like talked in a video about album club, but I feel like I've mentioned it in posts before. But I'm in an album club where we meet weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, depending on the circumstance, and we pick an album. Well, one person, you like go around, somebody picks an album, we listen to it, and then we talk about it, rate it, favorite song, whatever. My favorite album currently that I have not picked as an album for album club yet, because we already did Decide by Joe in like the very beginning. Like that was like one of the first albums of album club when I joined. But it's The Crux. So if you have not listened to The Crux, I need you to listen to it, please. I listen to that thing front and back almost every day. I can't help it. It's just constantly in my mind. It like calms me. I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Definitely like top 3 now. It's pretty crazy how quickly that happened, and we're actually finally seeing him in October, and I'm so freaking excited. I love him. I love Joe Keery. He's such a good musician. And that cover of Gasoline that they reposted again recently has me in a freaking chokehold, okay? That song, his voice, oh my god. Anyways, still a plant mom. As you can see, I've moved my plants around a little bit. I have way more plants though. I actually have a whole patio, again, full of plants and plants over there. But my favorite one is actually still my money tree. I don't know if I've ever talked about that either, but I've had it for a really long time, and I guess they can live for like 10 years with proper care. And she's growing, so I'm doing something right, apparently. Oh, also, I hatched a freaking moth. Can we talk about that? It's called a Zale lunata, and I did make a reel about it because I thought it was crazy. So I was repotting some plants, and I noticed this like weird little thing, and at first I thought it was like a really big piece of dirt, and then I was like, this is a chrysalis, and I don't know what it's for, and I don't know why it's here, but I ended up hatching it, and it was really cool. And well, I mean, it did like all the work. I just kind of put it in a container to make sure it stayed safe. So that was really cool and adorable, and I loved it. As you can see, my bangs are peeking. They want to be shown, but I can't. Also, my hair. Brad Mondo would be so disappointed in what we did. So like, these are the old pieces that were already dyed, and now they're just like extra stark blonde, and then this is like caramel, and there's, oh my god, there's roots and there's banding, and it's rough. I actually really like my natural hair color. I used to think it was kind of boring, but like my natural is this like kind of deep brown, but it also has like reds and stuff in it, and it's pretty shiny. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna re-dye it, like try and get it this to that and like have it be blonde again like it was last year in Austin, or if I'm just gonna try and dye it brown again before I'm probably gonna dye it brown again before the wedding. Right now it's being crazy, and I want my bangs to grow out because they're kind of ugly. They're kind of ugly right now, so we're just gonna push them back again. I said I was gonna speed run, and then I didn't speed run, and I just kept talking. If any of you have stayed this far, thank you so much. Honestly, this video is gonna be like a video podcast where you could just put it on in the background if you want, and you don't even gotta watch because there's too much going on. But this past year, I did a lot of travel, actually. So like normal, lots of local walks at like the river, the sanctuary, stuff like that. And then also like neighborhood cat feedings. We also did like a day trip to Tahoe, and I hope to go back soon. My friend has a cabin there. Well, her family has a cabin there. and they just said that she's allowed to go there at some point. We went back to Monterey. It was part of a field trip, and then we stayed a day, and then we went to Sonoma. So that was a really full weekend. And then I went to Bodega Bay actually 2 times. We went there for fun last year, and then I happened to go there as part of one of my school field trips where we did it was like an overnight couple day overnight field trip in Point Reyes, which I'd never been to before until this past semester. I took 2 classes. So I took a nature, biology, wildlife course, and then I took an oceanography course. So that was really cool to go to Bodega Bay and see more of it this year. I really want to go back and camp there, do like a overnight camping, beach camping type thing. I also got to see where they wanted to build a nuclear reactor on the San Andreas Fault. Why? It's a really cool site though, if you ever get the chance to see it. Pretty far from where I live, like it's a drive. So like I said, I went on 2 different field trips that included like going in the Point Reyes area, going to a bunch of different areas. So I also visited Elkhorn, Chimney Rock, saw elk and elephant seals for the first time in person, which was crazy. And then I did go to Año Nuevo as well for the first time and got to see elephant seals up close as like a makeup field trip that I did just on my own. So that was like super cool. I want to go back there so bad. I want to bring other people there just because like that was so interesting. And we actually did a tour with a docent. That's how you can go and see the elephant seals up close, is you have to schedule a tour with the docent. Like I said, I did 2 like overnight type field trips for my classes, 1 for each. The second one was for Quail Ridge, and then the other one was for my oceanography class. Quail Ridge was actually my first time animal trapping, so I helped set up a bunch of field traps with my group, and we handled voles, which if you don't know what a vole is, look it up. It's a cute tiny little rodent. That was crazy. I have pictures for that. I'm gonna post that at some point as well. And then for my oceanography trip, we also went to the Cal Academy of Sciences. I hadn't been there since I was a little kid, but we actually got to go in the basements where they kept all the specimens and historical artifacts, like a woolly mammoth tusk that was there during the original fire that had happened years and years ago. I forget exactly what year, but that was crazy. And I took pictures of some of that stuff. I literally found a rock that looks like the Sorcerer's Stone. I was so excited. I was like, I've never been that excited about rocks before. Well, like I have, but like that was crazy. There were rocks in there that we couldn't touch. Like that was the level of like behind the scenes that we were at. Like we could not touch some of this specimens. It was crazy. And then we also saw the bats at the Yolo Causeway bypass near Davis, California. So there's a bunch of like thousands and thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats, which if you don't know anything about them, look that up as well. They're super cute and they're really cool, and they're a cool part of the ecosystem there. So got to see that. Went to Sly Park. So I recently posted a video about that. I want to go back there. I want to camp there actually. I hadn't been there before, so camping there would be really cool. I also saw a lot of people doing kayaking and paddleboarding, and I would like to do kayaking just because I've never done it before, but I feel like that would be really fun and like a good place to learn how to do it because the water is pretty calm. And then the last like travel related thing, I went on a cruise. I went on a 4-day cruise. I've never been on a cruise before, and that was pretty interesting. We went down to Ensenada. So we had 1 day in Ensenada. That was cool. It was my first experience of going on a cruise, first experience going to a nightclub, first art auction, first not karaoke. Still haven't done karaoke yet, but at the end of the year I think we're gonna do it for our album club wrap up, which will be super fun. So I'm gonna post a whole video about that on its own. I'll show you like the stuff that I got, whatever. Let's talk a little bit about reading. This is not really a reading channel anymore, or maybe it really wasn't ever a reading channel. I just like reading every once in a while. So for this year I set a goal of reading 10 books. I've only read 3 so far fully. I actually just picked up the Fellowship of the Ring again, so now I'm like 120 pages. I was like 80 pages last year. Not very far. Hoping to get that finished soon, and then I just finished The Spell Shop, which I posted a picture of on my story. That one was really cute. That was a very fun summer read, very whimsical. I want to read more from her. I really hope she writes more about Caltree because like that, I don't know, I just really liked that world. So let's talk about the future. Like I said, my brother's getting married. I'm going to a Joe concert. Might go back to Tahoe, going to back to school full time. I did take 1 summer class, just finished it, passed it with a B. I was kind of worried for a second. I did not put a lot of time into it. Oh, I want to go to Yosemite. We might go camping in Yosemite with our friends. I have no idea, but that would be my first time going there as well. I just really enjoy traveling, so that'll be cool. When it comes to like art and stuff, so for crochet, textiles, sewing, painting. I went to my first sewing expo. That was super inspiring and interesting. The state fair, we also looked at the local artists that were up, and that was also really inspiring. So I want to get into more textiles, like learning to sew and stuff like that. I have another video I've started that is going to be about that specifically. Let's talk about health. So this year I did one 11-mile hike, one 10-mile hike, and my first 5K. I also consistently exercise, but honestly, like the more I've come to learn about health and how to be healthy, it's just like the biggest thing is diet. This YouTuber that I follow, I love them so much. They have a biochemistry degree, and they've also been on their own weight loss journey for like 5 years. But they always talk about you can't outrun a bad diet. That is definitely my biggest issue, is just not having a good diet. So I need to work on that. I really want to lose weight. I want to get toned, I want to get fit. But at the moment, that's just not where I'm at, and being sick, I can't really like prioritize that. I just have to prioritize getting better. So that's just kind of where I'm at with my health journey. But I am very proud about doing my first 5K. It was just me and my friend going, we're gonna run 5K. And then she wants to actually do a triathlon at some point next year. So maybe I'll jump on training with her. I don't know if I'll do the triathlon, but I definitely want to do some training. If we want to talk about any other achievements that I feel proud of, I also got my California Naturalist certification through volunteer work and doing a presentation and all that kind of stuff. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty cool. You also get a little pin, but it's from the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources. It's a really cool program. I got to do it through my wildlife biology course, and that's the first like college accolade I've gotten. So I'm just so proud of myself for that, and hopefully next year there's going to be a lot more. Honestly, for me, I wrote down, I am a person with too many hobbies, dreams, and interests, but it sure keeps life interesting and me busy, which is very true. So like I said, I am going to be going back to school full time again, but I really want to make it a point to keep working on creative stuff, just because that's what makes me happy. I am a creative person. I just have to do stuff like that all the time, otherwise I won't be happy. I think that's it. You've made it to the end of this video. If you're still here, congratulations. I feel like that is an accomplishment in itself to listen to me talk for that long. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for watching. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for literally everything. I'm super appreciative to have like my small little online community and to have it keep growing. If you like the video, like the video. If you like me and you want to see more of what I'm doing, subscribe. I don't know how often I'll actually be posting full videos like this, but I will definitely be doing reels. Follow my Instagram if you want more updates, more daily updates of just things that I'm working on, things that I'm interested in, whatever. Follow my TikTok also if you want. If you don't have TikTok, I get it. It's kind of like a hard platform to really break in on. I personally feel like Instagram and YouTube's a little easier. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you are able to do the things that you want to do and are inspired to do, and that your life has a lot of joy and love, and I will see you all very soon, hopefully when I'm not sick. Okay, bye guys.